Howdy, my Battlefield friends and fans. Welcome to the block. This is a Battlefield Hardline map and a real clusterfuck actually. And I'm playing Blood Money again. Yeah, I just love Blood Money. And I'm using the MPX here, which is one of my favorite weapons for close quarter matches. I have a micro sight, stock and heavy barrel equipped. I could run the extended magazine, but in such intense matches, I rarely survive long enough to need extra ammo. This map can be compared to Metro and Operation Locker, but it's even more intense because you die so much quicker in this game. So it's highly recommended to use a fast weapon if you want to win intense firefights and catch flankers running by you. SMGs work best in my opinion, but if you are good at aiming, you may also do well with a shotgun. Believe it or not, but some people actually prefer to snipe in this map. Why? Well, it's because there are two on either side of the map. There's a long alley with a couple of cars and some containers, but you can pretty much snipe from one end to the other in this alley. And if you are on top of a roof somewhere on either side, you can pretty much snipe to the other side too. So if you're good at sniping, you can actually do a lot of damage to the enemy team. The sights in these maps are actually the fastest way to get from one side to the other, but it's pretty risky as you don't have much cover and you probably get caught up in some crossfire. But it's worth it if you want to quickly deposit money on either side. Knowing that, you have to keep an eye on the sides, as this is where the flankers usually come from most of the time. And when you see them, take them out. But don't sit in the side alley because you're most likely being taken down. Another thing you have to watch out for is our spawn beacons, which are called satellite phones in this game, especially in block where there are so many rooms, they can be very well hidden. When you hear beeping from the phone, make sure you find and destroy it, as it can make a difference of your team winning or losing. You can actually purchase a satellite phone in the mechanic class, which is different than before. The spawn beacons were always only available to the sniper. And it will cost you $27,000, so you may not want to buy this right at the beginning at the game when you're still new, because you may want to save up your money first for better weapons and weapon attachments before you go and buy fancy equipment. But for me, those tactical inserts always feel more like a cheat. So I'm running the gas mask instead, which has saved me actually countless times. When you're trapped in a room and the enemy's throwing a gas grenade in, you are pretty doomed because you cannot run out. The enemies are waiting out there with their guns and you can't stay in because you're being gassed. So, you know, if you do have a gas mask, you just can calmly wait until, you know, the enemies go away, or if, you know, your team comes to you to help you out and you can take them down. So I have to say, this map actually is a lot of fun. When you play it first, you die a lot because you don't know the map, you don't know, you know, the corners, you don't know the flanking routes. You have to kind of, you know, first get to know, you know, where the cash, the money pile is, and your safes, and how you fastest get to all those places. And while you do that, you die a lot. So you may want to like play maybe team deathmatch on this first, which I didn't do. I played Blood Money first, and I was really confused because I didn't really, you know which way to go, and I always went the like the slower way. But once you get to know this map can be super fun, as much fun as Operation Metro and Operation Locker if you like those maps. Some people don't like those maps. Some people prefer wide open maps. Some people prefer closed maps. But I'm pretty sure this is going to be one of the maps that will be on 24/7 rotation in some of the servers. I don't know if I would want to play this map over and over and over again, but right now, a lot of times, I get Dust Bowl over and over. It seems like Dust Bowl comes up like the most. And I don't know if that's just coincidence or whatever. But a lot of times I'm like, oh my god, I haven't played this map for so long, like this block, or, you know, a couple of the other maps I really like Row House, and it just doesn't come up, and I really literally have to like wait until they come up, or have to do an intense server search until I actually find one. And a lot of times it happens that you get into a match and it just ends. Unfortunately, that's something I feel like DICE could change, or Visceral, or whoever is responsible for this, you know, where you actually can see if a game is ending or if it's starting or if it's halfway through, so you can decide if you want to get in or not, because a lot of times a map after that comes up that you don't like. I think after that it is Dust Bowl. I'm not sure yet. I don't know the map rotation by heart yet. Eventually I will, and that will be very helpful to know which games to get into, because there's a few maps. I don't like to play Blood Money on Dust Bowl. I don't find that a very good map to play Blood Money on. I find like this map and like Bank Job, for example, ideal. Grow House is ideal. I think all the really close quarter maps are much better than, you know, the big maps, but that's just personal preference. But anyway, another thing that I realized is, you know, when you watch Twitch and you see people like, oh, I don't know, I kind of want to rank up and I really want to get this camo or whatever and I need to rank up, and then they play Team Deathmatch, and that's really, as far as I know, the game mode where you rank up the least, because you don't have any objectives. So I highly recommend, if you do want to rank up, you know, play the objective-based maps like Heist, Blood Money, and Hotwire, and you will really rank up. And you know, everyone says you rank up the most in Hotwire, but it really depends on your play style. You know, some people, you know, do very well in Hotwire and they may rank up a lot, and some people, they are, you know, running around most of the time looking for a car to capture or a car to take down, and they're not very successful, and then they don't really actually make more points than they would if they would just play Blood Money, for example. You can make a lot of money in Blood Money if you help, you know, protecting the cash, if you get the cash, if you steal cash. You know, there's so many things you can do to make points, and even if you're a mediocre player, you should actually be able to get points even without getting a lot of kills. I've seen people having 0 kills and, you know, 10 deaths, but they were #1 and our team won, and it's because of probably that one guy that was just amazingly good at getting the cash and protecting the cash. So it really depends, you know. In objective-based games, you can't be selfish. You can't think about, you know, about just getting the most kills in your team, because this is not what it's all about. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.